Hi everyone, welcome to my channel for the game Demise, Rise of the Catan with the Ascension expansion pack. I noticed there are no beginning to end videos online for this game. It is a fairly lengthy game, but I figured I'd get started with one myself. My videos will be full length of my entire gameplay, but just to help sort of the viewing of it, I will be adding lists of the key achievements and timestamps in the comment sections below. So let's get started. So we're going to be creating our first characters. This will be a party of 4. Our first character will be Thane the Giant, a male. Can only choose neutral. For I guess the purposes of this party, I will not be running what's called a legacy characters. This is typically you create a single character to run the first few levels of the game to collect as many tombs and potions as possible to increase the attributes of your final party of 2, 3 or 4 characters. And most importantly, people choose the Constitution, because Constitution effectively increases the amount of hit points you get per level, and that really helps longer term. But for the purpose of this, just to make it a little bit more challenging and just to sort of get straight into the game, I will not be doing that. However, I will be creating using the warrior guild for all of my characters except for one who doesn't have access to it. The reason for this is the warrior guild gets more hit points per level for the first 28 levels than any other guild, so just as a little bit extra bit of a boost, I will be doing that. So let's get started with this. We'll be selecting warrior. Now you need at least 10 intelligence and 10 wisdom to increase your attributes through tombs, which are the most common, so I'll be doing that. I'll be putting as many points as I possibly can into Constitution. Now I have 2 points left. I'm just going to be adding it to Dexterity. It's a nice rounded figure and helps with being a little bit more agile as I traverse the dungeon. I do have some custom character sketches, and this will be the Giant. Now for the next one, we have Moraine, bit of one of my favourite characters from the Wheel of Time series. So the Moraine will be a human, female, neutral. So her main guilds are going to be mostly cleric and then basically maxing out magi, but cleric will be the focus. But again, this character's got access to the warrior guild, so I will be starting with that. And again, as many points as possible into Constitution, which is 17. Followed from that is 10 of each of those, and that's all the points that I'm able to spend on that character. Again, we've got a custom portrait. There you go. That's Moraine. The third character is No Mercy, as a gnome, male. The gnome in this case will be evil, so that I've got access to the Sorcerer Guild. Now this character does not have access to the warrior. The warrior is only for neutral, or at least doesn't have access to under evil. But instead of clicking Sorcerer to allocate my stats, I actually want to click Artisan so I can start sort of adding some things manually, because I want to have a little bit more rounded fighting ability at the start rather than just something purely focused on Sorcerer. So for this character I'll be having 9 strength, 10 intelligence, 10 wisdom, again as much Constitution as I possibly can, 7 charisma and 10 dexterity. Portrait, got a cool gnome picture here. And finally, Ghost, the Ogre, male, neutral. The Ogre will be primarily a warrior and thief combo. They're the only two guilds this character will be joining. So again, starting off, we'll use warrior. 10, 10, as much constitution as I possibly can. And you notice I don't even have any points left for dexterity. The Ogre actually gets a lot of constitution available as a race. And so that's all that's going to be for that character. And there's my Ogre. So if I now click play game, this is the town. I'm just adding all my different characters. And here's my party of 4. So each character begins with some sort of basic items, and we're just going to be cycling through the town. We've got a shop to purchase items, guilds in order to either change a guild to something else, or the little button here will pop up when you want to level up. And you've got other things like confinement to purchase companions, but I don't typically do that. I use the Magi Guild later on to start capturing monsters to fight for me. The morgue to sort of raise characters that die. And we've also got the real billboard. This is really good to have a look at every so often. Sometimes you get some really good items to turn in and get them as rewards. And here is Lord Garrick's basically the quest line of the game. So if I click on Garrick, it has a bit of a detail on what that is. I'm not going to go into that just yet, but what I will be sort of talking through very quickly is just a bit of a path on my character list as a bit of an intro. So all of my characters, obviously I've joined the Warrior Guild, except for one, which is the Gnome Artisan. All my characters will be joining Artisan, and they will all be leveling all the way up to 197. The significance of that is that they get the maximum attack and defense for as quickly as possible, and that will really allow me to go as deep as possible with those characters, and then help level all the other guilds that take a lot longer to level. And the added bonus is also the Artisan Guild gets access to some really great items that can be equipped when you're leveling in other guilds, particularly things like really powerful daggers and jewelry. They really help the process along. I doubt I'll be making it to 197 in one go without sort of changing into some of the other guilds like Explorer to sort of help me traverse the dungeon. But we'll see how we go. This has been a very long time, but that's effectively it. So we're going to start in the dungeon. So this is basically the start of the entranceway. So you go through the door to go back to town, and you click on the dungeon to go back in. I will be stopping the video right there. I'll be enabling push to talk on my next video. I'll be sort of actually going through into the dungeon itself. But for now, thanks for watching, and I look forward to seeing you in the next video.